Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, we are from Group 1, consists of me, Fitra Diraistardi, Awalia Fadia Yuniar, and Sanaa Muhammad Awad Bagubair. We will discuss and explain about quantitative research design, and we will divide it into 3 segments. The first segment is about research questions and variables, and I will discuss it. And the next segment will be hypothesis and data analysis. Fadia will discuss and explain about it. And the last segment is about data collection and sampling. Sanaa will explain about it. And we also will explain about some results and conclusion if we can, inshallah. So the first one, I will explain about research questions. So basically, research questions, if we look at what Ardell said in 2002, he said that research questions come from the general statement of the problem. They are statements for which the study is conducted. If we are as a researcher, and if we discuss more about research questions, a good research questions for like thesis or paper consists of 7 characteristics, which are or research questions should be focused on a single problem or issue, and it also researchable using primary or secondary source. And the third one is feasible to answer within time frame and practical constraints of the issue. The fourth one is specific enough to answer all of the problems thoroughly. And the next is complex to develop the answer over the space of the thesis. And the last one will be relevant to the field of study that we have based on our major field. Because if we talk about knowledge is like a sea, and we have to use it as our major study. And if we talk about research questions, commonly there are 2 types of research questions, which are descriptive questions and inferential questions. And the first one, descriptive questions, are intended to describe the characteristics of a population and measure a phenomenon or situation. And descriptive questions are answered commonly using descriptive statistics such as percentage, frequency count, and mean, etc. And the example of these questions is like, what is students' perception of the martial law declaration in the entire of Jakarta, for example? And the next experiential questions. Inferential questions consist of link and connect 2 or more variables in research question. And inferential questions are intended to establish associations among variables and determine whether a variable predicts or explains another variable. As you can see, commonly there are 2 types of variable, independent and dependent variable, right? And infer whether differences exist among identified groups against a variable that we measure. And inferential questions are important because we can also divide it again, like more than one in reading the data, which means frequency counts and percentage distribution cannot carry all of them. Yeah, we can, if we discuss more about inferential questions, there are 3 subtypes of these inferential questions, which are number 1, relationship questions, and number 2, predictive questions, And number three are difference or comparative questions. If we find more about relationship questions, the first one, uh, this question relates to two or more variables in a research question. And example of relationship questions are like, does educational attainment relate to income earned by worker in Jakarta? And is there a relationship between happiness and the cost of the gift given? And is there an association between self-confidence, efficacy, and self-esteem? Yeah, something like that, and etc. And the second one is predictive questions. These questions are intended to determine whether variable A predicts variable B. For example, like researcher studies about variables such as engagement to social media and interpersonal skills of some people. Using a predictive question, he or she can establish how the extent to which students are engaged in social media influences their interpersonal skills. Like examples are, is there an influence of teachers' personality on students' academic successes? And also, do study habits affect the achievement level of like grade 5 students? And also, does student learning style impact their level of engagement in physics class, example, something like that? And the last one is comparative questions. Uh, these questions are meant to determine the differences among groups or classes. And examples are like, is there a difference in the self-confidence of students considering parents' socioeconomic status? And do males and females differ in their attitude in writing research papers? And also, is there a difference between students from complete families and those from broken families in their academic success? It, these are some questions that we can say called a comparative question. And in writing research questions, the researcher may use the following phrases. And for the sake of clarity, it is imperative to note that researchers have the advantage of writing research question effectively if they possess knowledge and at least have the familiarity of the types of variables and the level of measurement.